There's some straight up motherfucking psychos out there, bro. Just lurking amongst us. You guys may have heard about a story involving a pit bull, a dog. Somebody found it in a suitcase. And they heard the dog crying in the suitcase. So they opened the suitcase, and the little dog had been stabbed like 50 times. And it died a few days later, despite veterinarians trying to care for the dog and save it. A bunch of people were outraged. People everywhere across the globe sent money to help the dog, but the dog died, and now people were outraged. Finally, like after a month or so, they found the psychopath who tortured the dog. And it turns out that in his apartment or something, his apartment, he had a bunch of like instruments for torturing animals. I think there was blood on the walls, and I think he said like it's part of his religion to torture animals. It's just like, what the fuck, bro? And there was like a police report from a few years ago where, actually I think it was in February. Somebody filed the police report because he was supposedly seen kicking a mother duck and the little ducklings. Just psychotic. I remember one time I was riding bike at a park, and I was about to leave, put my bike on the back of my car, drive away, and I saw this dude in the distance, maybe 30 yards away. He was running in circles while a little baby duckling, a little fit in the palm of your hand baby duckling, was running in circles away from the dude, tweedling away, little tweeting sounds, little duckling running for its life, while this psychotic little crackhead piece of shit guy was chasing the duckling in circles, stamping his feet on the floor, trying to crush the fucking duckling. And I was just like, what the fuck am I watching? Because, I think some people have empathy in them, and when they see something else in a state of suffering, they relate to it, and it provokes an instinctual reaction to end the suffering. And the motherfuckers just stomp it. And I'm like, hey! And he didn't hear me the first time. I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And then, maybe it's just the tone of my voice was so just like, what are you doing, bro? That he just suddenly stopped. He looked my way, and then he kind of like went back to his group of psychotic little stoner, pothead, crackhead friends as they were parked by their car. And as he was like walking back to the car, and then the little duckling went running away, the guy kind of like, he tried to say something to me, but he kind of mumbled it, so he like half said it to me. He's like, I know what I'm doing. He just like walked back to his, like, what the fuck?
I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy.
So this guy who tortured and killed this pit bull recently in his apartment, he said it's his religion to torture animals. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Torturing animals, satanic bloodlust ritual sacrifices is a norm. I would argue that meat eating is, for a lot of people, meat eating is a purely satanic ritual. It's a bloodlust thing. You don't even know it. Some of you guys, not all meat eaters, but yeah, I think some meat eaters, it's a purely satanic ritual. For some meat eaters, it's a pure bloodlust thing. Not all meat eaters, but for some, and even some of them who know it, and some of them who aren't aware of it, but subconsciously it still drives them, they have a lust for suffering. They have an appetite for suffering. And then there's some people who are just open. Some people are just open. And like, they just take pride. I mean, I did a Twitter poll the other day. If you're a meat eater, is part of the pleasure of eating meat because you take pleasure in in the suffering of the smaller animal that you took the life from. And like, I think it was like 8% said yes. Now, those could have been like vegan trolls trying to make meat eaters look bad, or it could have been some honest meat eaters just straight up being like, yeah, I love preying on little things smaller than me. I love picking on things smaller than me. But it's funny, you know, when you actually, a lot of times I've listened to a lot of debates where meat eaters try to ethically or morally defend meat eating. And a lot of times they actually, when you really dig down, they have no argument. They have to basically say that, okay, fine, I like to eat animals. I have no apologies about it. I am completely unapologetic. And you know what? It's just, we live in a survival of the fittest world. And if I can get my hands on something smaller than me and I can kill it, stab it, and eat it, then that's just the law of the land, survival of the fittest. So some people actually walk around with a sort of, even though they go to church every week and then they actually believe that they're moral people, really they have a purely survival of the fittest Darwinian worldview, and it helps them sleep at night to justify when they eat animals. So yeah, it's pretty fucking bonkers, man. Yeah, I definitely think that meat eating in general is basically a satanic ritual writ large upon society. And it's sort of just something that no one even realizes it. Especially factory farming. Like, maybe if you hunt your food, okay, maybe I can give that a pass. But factory farming is like a collective satanic ritual. A satanic blood ritual. You know, people talk about spirit cooking. People talk about spirit cooking. Oh, it's so gross. It's so nasty. But when you think about it, how much different is that from like straight up fucking meat eating? Especially when it involves factory farming and the abuses of the animals. It's a fucking blood ritual. Anyways, that's my random rant video for the day. Thank you guys for watching.
I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy.
Fight back against YouTube censorship by supporting me on Patreon. You'll also get access to exclusive, never-before-seen videos and other perks like monthly Google Hangouts with me, free books and t-shirts, and more.